beginning of the module reminds us we are almost at the finish line. This module will ask you to consider large and small scale revisions. You read about those types of revisions in Module 5. And for this module, there are two deliverables, 7-2, which is a discussion, implementing multiple revision strategies. We will have this discussion in class, so that'll take place there. And then 7-3, revision process, that's an activity that you will complete within this module in the digital text and submit. Now, the reading to begin this part of the digital text is it's a refresher on revision and a deeper discussion about revision. They offer you some general tips, and they're really good tips. Get some distance from your paper, set your draft aside for a while. That is great. You want to come back with fresh eyes. If you leap right into revising right after writing, you're not going to see the same sorts of things that you will see when you're able to take a step back and look at it more objectively. And you want to give yourself plenty of time to revise. This is a mistake that a lot of people make. They don't give themselves time. They think that they can just rush it, but it really needs to be however long it needs to be. And so you want to give yourself ample time. And if you use it all, great. If you don't use it all, fantastic. But you do want to give yourself enough time to really go back through and thoroughly look at your writing, reflect on it, polish it up. And it does take time. Print out a hard copy of your draft. I know for me, as you have noticed, I'm sure, I print out your work that you submit. I print out hard copies, and I go over it with a pen, and I mark it up that way. There's something about pen and paper when it comes to the revision process. Studies have been done that show that students who only work with like a Word document, they don't ever go away from that. They don't make nearly as many changes as students who either start off with a handwritten draft, or students who print out a hard copy and mark up their draft with handwriting. So I encourage you to do that. Like I said, I print out your work for that very reason, and then I scan it and upload it as part of my feedback to you. And you also, they recommend reading your paper out loud. I 110% agree with this suggestion. You will catch so many issues with sentence fluency, with phrasing that you wouldn't catch otherwise simply by reading it out loud. Because the eye will autocorrect, whereas when the eye is reading and you're speaking, you're much more likely to catch some hiccups, some issues. Down below, there are a series of 4 tabs, and if you click on each tab, it'll give you information on that topic. So large-scale revisions, click on the tab, there it is. Small-scale revisions, it talks about the differences between these two. Self-evaluation versus peer critique. Self-evaluation, as you saw, there's a video. Peer critique, there's a video as well, along with some reading. And then up next is the discussion. As I said, that'll take place in class. So it's about implementing multiple revision strategies. It's a graded discussion. And so unless something occurs and we don't meet face-to-face, you don't have to worry about typing this up. We will have that discussion in class. So should something happen, say there's an unexpected storm that comes in or whatever, then we would default to writing it. But otherwise, unless we don't meet, don't worry about this as far as writing it down goes. I would definitely look through it to make sure that you're ready for discussing it in class, certainly. The requirements are going to be the same as far as what you say in class should have the same content as what you would have written. And then the rubric still applies, but instead of your initial post, it's going to be your initial response spoken in class, and then responding to each other in class. And I will take part in it, so it's not just a two-person discussion. I'll chime in too, and we'll have a lively discussion. Um, so then the next page has the second deliverable, the second graded activity, which is revision process activity. This activity will be graded based on completion. So so it says, now that you've read about revision, the revision process, and utilized the reverse outlining process to inform your revisions, let's apply what you've discovered to your critical analysis essay. You already completed one round of revisions in 6.5, which was the reverse outline, and submitted a revised draft with a complete introduction, body paragraph, and conclusion. So you can click there to return to that page. Using the strategies and revision steps you've learned about in this module, along with the feedback you received from your instructor, revise each section of your essay. Remember that revision is very important, so don't be rushed for this activity. Below is a reminder of some general steps. And then they have the same ones that we just talked about. So updating your revised draft, and that's copy and paste the entire essay into the text box below and click submit to save your work. So again, this is a completion activity. But it is one that it'll bear a lot of fruit for you as far as improving your writing. The more that you write, the more you think about writing, applying the concepts that you're thinking about, the better your writing is going to get. So that's Module 7, and I will see you folks in